Hey, ciao everyone. Thank you for attending today's virtual info session and allowing me to share a quick and overview of Istituto Lorenzo de Medici, or LDM. My name is and I'm the Student Services and University Relations Coordinator at LDM. So the goal of today's presentation is to help you learn a little bit about what it's like to study abroad in Italy with LDM and give you a sense of options that are available from academics to housing to extracurricular activities. And throughout the presentation, I'll be asking some key questions to help you reflect, and I invite you to start envisioning and comment on what it's like to study abroad at LDM and what that would look specifically for you. Okay, so first, let's have you learn a little bit about LDM and our background. So we are first and foremost a study abroad institution. So that means that students come from all over the world to study at LDM. You'll be in a class with students who are just as new to the experience as you are. And we do host quite a few students throughout the year, equaling to about 3,000 students annually. Our institute was founded in 1973, and it originally started out with just a campus in Florence. And then after 48 years, we are now considered as one of the largest and oldest international institutes in Italy within higher education. And we've grown to host 2 different campus locations, one in Florence and then one in Tuscany, Italy. So normally, if you don't, students come to our program, they don't know any Italian before they study abroad at LDM, that's no problem at all. Italian language is not a requirement for admission, and although LDM students attending semester programs have historically been required to take at least one Italian language course, this requirement has been waived for academic year of 2021 and 2022. Of course, if you do come to LDM next semester in spring 2022 and decide that you do want to take an Italian language course, you absolutely can, and we would even encourage it as well. All right, so in this slideshow right here, you can see that it offers you a peek into our academic buildings, our lab spaces, our art and design studios, and the places that LDM students usually go to apply what they are learning in practical ways. So Florence has 14 different buildings throughout the city where students will take their classes from, while the Tuscany building is only one large building nestled inside of the medieval walls. Our academic offerings include 7 schools, 36 departments with more than 500 course options throughout the year, and all of which are taught in English, except for the Italian language courses. We have faculty and students from all around the world, LDM, so you'll be able to connect with different ideas and cultures outside the ones that you bring to the table. And our faculty will be especially eager to engage students in the new concepts, ways of learning. So for example, at LDM, we take pride in our method of experiential learning, where students will be able to step outside the classroom with their faculty and peers to soak up the new surroundings and enrich the learning experiences. So whether students are making a sense of lecture through critical dialogue with fellow international students and faculty, or they're using a LDM software and equipment to gain a deeper and more technical understanding of their discipline, students are expected to learn from their experience, interact with one another, and leverage this uniquely in a culture environment and utilize the environment around them. All right. So as you can see here, some of the LDM schools operate exclusively at one campus, and these schools are our schools of agriculture, design, and science and mathematics. And then exclusive to the LDM campus in Tuscany is the School of Agriculture, where students can learn what makes Italian olive oil so special and delicious in Tuscany. And then in Florence, students can access courses offered by a School of Design, which includes departments like architecture, fashion, graphic design, interior design, jewelry design, and Florence is also the home to our STEM coursework. So if you do choose to study abroad with LDM, you'll be welcome and encouraged to delve into any of these different departments that are not restricted to the ones that you are majoring or minoring in. Right. So ultimately, the majority of our LDM academics are offered at both of the sites. Our School of Italian Language and Culture and our School of Nutrition and Italian Gastronomy and Culture offer all of these courses and floors as well as Tuscania. So you don't have to feel torn between picking the two. We also recognize the importance of being able to take these courses that fulfill general ed requirements, which is why much of our coursework in the School of Creative Arts and the School of Liberal Arts and social sciences is available to students no matter which location that they wish to study in. So in the slide here, you'll see some of the popular courses Texas Tech University students have taken over the years from 2018 to 2020, including Wines of Italy, Pairing Food and Wine, Wine Business, Food and Culture, Principles of Marketing, and Principles of Finance. Okay, so now that we've gone through all of the academics and course offerings, let's take a minute to consider what you've learned. So what are you studying right now at your home institution? And while you're in Italy, do you want to branch out and study something different? Some of our students who come to LDM stick to their major and minor coursework, and then we have some of the students who also take, mostly electives or general ed requirements with strong Italian culture themes. So take a minute to write down the name of schools that spark your interest, make a mental note so that you can take a closer look at a later time. And I'm more than happy to answer those questions about our departments and share specific syllabi if you're interested in this class. Or you can also use the QR code, as you can see here on the screen, and you can take a look through this year's schedule of LDM courses that are offered. Okay, so knowing what specific courses at LDM you will take is one part of customizing the experience, but another is choosing what site you will attend. So Florence and Tuscania, they're both exceptional locations to study abroad. And like I mentioned earlier, it's not an easy decision. But as we discussed, depending on which departments are of interest to you, you may also be advised to consider one site over the other and the type of experiences you want, and also how you hope to spend your free time, which will also influence your choice. So we'll learn a little bit about each site in the next slide. Okay, so as you can see here, Florence or Firenze is the 8th largest city in Italy and also the capital city of the Tuscany region. Florence is famous for history, art, architecture, making it a location perfect for constant exploration. And so stemming from its Renaissance roots, Florence has continued to grow and exemplify the spirit of innovation. Fashion students can not only enjoy Via Tornabuoni, but also see fashion exhibits throughout the year, such as Pitti Immagini Uomo and Pitti Immagini Bimbo. Whereas for those who loves art, design, history can also enjoy the large number of museum postings, such as the works of David, the birth of Venus, and famous architectural structures of the Duomo and the Pitti Palace. And at our Florence site, the Florence site attracts a lot of students and scholars from all over the world. So it's a pretty international and academic culture throughout the city. And it's so great because there are many of great people that you've heard of before, like Dante Alighieri, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci used to be there. So every aspect of life in Florence is very inspiring to students and people, no matter what field they may be in. And you may be surprised how study abroad inspires you and what you come to realize about yourself when you study at LDM. And we're happy, of course, to be a part of that journey as you explore the new city and learn more about yourself and your goals. And in contrast, Tuscania is a hillside town in the Lazio region. It's known for its phenomenal natural beauty, Etruscan history, and unforgettable scenery. So if you're more interested in connecting with local Italians and practicing your language skills in a more serene setting, LDM Tuscania is a wonderful fit. It's very easy for students to go into the town and have a very friendly conversation with the Tuscania residents because the Tuscanian communities, people there are just so genuinely eager to meet the students. And so many of them enjoy listening as students practice their Italian, and very encouraging for those who are, learning Italian as a beginner. And the campus itself is often described to be very warm, tight-knit, and students get to learn a lot about the Etruscan history because of the nearby ancient ruins, and they can access outdoor adventures like the Lake Lucena and the Tyrrhenian Sea. And of course, if they want to go visit Florence and Rome, it's just a train away. And so if you're still not 100% sure which site is the right one for you, feel free to scan the QR code in the corner of the slide and take a quick quiz, and it'll tell you which LDM site most likely to fit your personality best. Okay. All right, so now we will talk about the terms and the sessions we have at LDM. So students have 4 choices when it comes to the timing of their study abroad experience. They can study abroad for a January intersession, in the summertime for a full semester or an entire academic year. And the January intersession consists of 3 weeks where students can take 1 or 2 courses of their choosing. In the summertime, LDM offers 2 shorter summer sessions, which last about 4 weeks, 1 in June and then 1 in July. So students can choose a month that works best for their schedule, or they can combine the 2 sessions to maximize their time in Italy. And if the students go during the summertime, Italian language is optional during summer sessions, and students can enroll in either 1 or 2 courses for 3 to 6 credits respectively. So if you choose to study in Italy, you want to stay longer for a full semester, that's possible as well. You'll earn between 12 to 15 credits, and you'll have a choice to choose between Florence or Tuscany. And then for some students, a full semester just isn't enough time. So if students do decide that they want to live in Italy for an entire academic year, then, brava, that's really great. And it's possible as well, as long as you talk with your study abroad office and make sure that you'll have the credits transfer upon return. All right. Okay. So now, time to reflect once again. What does your timing look like? And when might you like to live in Italy? And will your decision be based on the weather, the temperature, a specific program interest, or your personal calendar and obligations? And if you can live in Italy for an entire year, would you do that? And so now that we explored the academic programs, our 2 sites, and the flexibility that, of students being able to enjoy in terms of when they can come to Italy, we will now focus on the student service aspect, the housing, and the co-curricular activities. Okay. So you can see here, before we begin and tell you what we offer for housing, let's see which one you identify with better on the student profile. So the first couple, as you can see here, one wants to feel a bit more independent, likes to, doesn't like to have a curfew, enjoys cooking on their own, is fine living among multiple other students. And in the other student profile, you see that the other is interested in a warm, intimate family environment and would love to have some homemade Italian dishes for their meals. So you could kind of guess what sort of housing we offer already, but in case you haven't, students can choose either an LDM apartment or an LDM homestay. Okay, so if you choose to house in an LDM apartment, you're expected to live with other LDM students, not local Italians though. LDM apartments are furnished with everything that's, you might need, such as bedding, furniture, kitchen utensils, Wi-Fi, etc. And we do ask that students keep in mind that no 2 apartments are the same. The majority of the LDM apartments are located in historical buildings, which means there are no elevators. But the good thing is that students don't have to commute to school. They can just easily walk. You don't need to take the train or the bus. And then for students who prefers to do homestays are a great way to pick up the Italian language, learn about the Italian family life and customs as well. And plus, host families do provide meals, and as well as laundry services. So if you think you would enjoy more home-style Italian cooking, bonding with a family from Italy, the homestay option is the best one for you. And as for roommates, our students are housed with other LDM students and maybe other students that you know and could request, or maybe from different US home institutions or international as well. So on the LDM housing applications, students will be asked to choose between a single shared bathroom. And if you have a friend attending LDM through the same program, you can indicate that in your LDM housing applications that you want to room with them and live with them. And usually our housing staff does a great job with considering these requests when making housing assignments. Okay, so in addition to the support that you will receive from the housing office, every student who attends LDM has constant support from an assigned LDM advisor on site. So our team of advisors provide students the help they may need, like, for example, accessing healthcare. And you can feel reassured by the fact that the medical services, hospitals, pharmacies are all within walking distance from LDM. And there are also English-speaking physicians available to assist you too. And additionally, LDM advisors can help with navigating the process of using international insurance, regardless of your insurance provider. And our mental health facilities are available and free through LDM counselors and can be easily booked online. And then finally, last but not least, LDM does provide a 24-hour emergency phone number that you can use outside of business hours in case you need to get in touch with an LDM advisor for any urgent reasons. Okay, so now to the fun part. No study abroad experience would be complete without a little adventure. So now we will share a little bit about what we offer in terms of extracurricular activities. So throughout the semester and also during short-term programs, LDM offers interactive activities, and trips are all guided in English and free to LDM students. And the schedule of activities varies by term and LDM site, but an activity calendar is provided to students by their LDM advisor during orientation. And some of the more popular activities for LDM students in Florence includes learning how to do handicrafts and how things are made in Italy, like artisanal paper and gelato. And then Florence students usually take advantage of the free cooking activities where they are paired up with an LDM state-of-art kitchen facilities, and they're taught to make Italian recipes like pizza margherita and other pasta dishes. And our instructional chefs, they do a wonderful job with explaining a little bit about the history and chemistry of each ingredient. And that allows students to recognize what makes the Italian cuisine so special. And then in our Tuscania site, our students are usually very excited to go outside, to do some hiking, yoga, and day trips to nearby towns. So one popular day trip in the past that we offered to students included the Bolci Archaeological Park, which is a gem for Etruscan researchers. And after the hiking tour, students had the chance to go take a dip in the thermal pools at Terme de Bolci to enjoy the natural hot spring water. And additionally, the LDM Tuscania staff provide free transfer for students on the weekends from the main building to the local train station. And this is a perk for the Tuscania students because the service makes it so easy for them to visit other Italian towns and cities outside the class, including the LDM Florence campus site as well, if they have friends, who are also studying with LDM there. Okay. So for students who would prefer more structured or frequently organized activities, our student clubs in Florence are a great way to get involved. The clubs bring together small groups of students that meet more regularly, so several times per semester, to explore, share interests in a socially inclusive environment. And clubs have, vary in the past, but there's been ones that we have centered on, such as football, the Italian style, volleyball, yoga, choir, jam ensemble, drawing and ceramics, ballet club, and board games as well. And it's just a great way for students to meet other LDM students who aren't already in your classes or your roommates as well. And then we have the optional weekend excursions. So summer and semester students can participate in the LDM excursions for personal enjoyment and intellectual enrichment. And these trips are optional at an extra cost to LDM students, and they last 2 days. So an LDM faculty usually accompany the students on these trips, and the cost does cover for private bus transfers, hotel accommodations, and guided tours, as well as some meals. And the past excursions have included places such as Venice, Pompeii, the Amalfi Coast, Cinque Terre, and Monte Carlo. And students can sign up before arriving in Italy or during orientation. And they're usually a very popular excursion that students look forward to signing up for. Okay, so if you already figured out when you want to come to study abroad, which courses that you would like to take and where you want to study, then you'll be ready to talk with your study abroad office, and they will help you understand all the steps that you would need in the application process. And please note that steps to apply will differ depending on the home institution. So if you have a home institution, please ask those questions and make sure to reach out to us after the presentation if you have any questions. But once you've been admitted to LDM, you'll receive assistance from our US office, and I'll be able to help prepare you for your departure and life in Italy. And then once you arrive on site, the LDM advisors and faculty will be more than ready to welcome you to your new home and celebrate that start of the new exciting chapter of your life. And also be sure to check out your study abroad deadlines, which I will show here. Yes. To check out the deadline at your school before you go through our office. And make sure you also check out the course equivalency search tool provided on your school's website to see what course offerings are available and what will be able to transfer back to your home institution. Okay. And finally, here are some helpful links. Check out the LDM website, contact us with your questions, and follow us on social media. And if you prefer to be contacted by a member of our LDM team, please feel free to reach out to me directly and I'll be able to help you. Thank you so much for watching the session and looking forward to connecting soon.